I loved Ed, and he loved me, but he was the kind that would come to a scene and not know the lines. And I always knew my lines. So I'd say, Ed, whenever would you like to go and learn them while I'm here with all this paraphernalia on? And, I'd kid with him that way. And it was sort of a Mutt and Jeff and a father and son, really, with Ed. And we loved each other. We got along fine. But I would tease him that way because he was of the opinion that you pick up the lines in rehearsal, and I was of the opinion that you knew your lines to going into the rehearsal. And so I had that fun with him. Oh, whenever you're ready, Ed, would you like to go off and learn the lines? I'll wait for you here, that kind of thing.
Talk about working with Ed Flanders as Dr. Westfall.
Well, Ed was a joy to work with. I have to tell you, he was, one of the signs of a good actor is a good listener. Never mind that they're thinking about their lines or they stop thinking after they say their lines, that they listen. And so you're playing very well. And Ed was that way. He was a wonderful listener. And he had a certain maturity in the role that led to a certain gravitas and so forth. He was very good in the role.
Talk about working with Norman Lloyd.
Norman was a joy. He was the old man and he's still the old man. I've met him for lunch over there where he lives on the other side of the hill, and he just is. Well, he's wonderful to be around because he goes back to Orson Welles and all of those people in the 30s when he was a young man. And stories, he has a million interesting stories about Wells and about Chaplin, a good friend of Charles Chaplin. And we all just loved sitting around listening to some of his stories from the 30s when he was working with those people, those wonderful people. Yeah, he just great. He still is. I had lunch with him maybe a month or two ago. And he's fine.
Talk about Howie Mandel as Dr. Wayne Fiscus.
Howie was a very good actor and was very good in the part. It turns out that his real wishes and talent was even more so for stand-up, and he went on to do a lot of stand-up, but he was a very good actor in the show, and he had a lot to do, and he and I don't know, Denzel and all those character actors, Eric Lonaville, they all got their chance to carry a show, because they used to do that kind of thing. So he was funny, and but he was also serious as an actor, and he was good. He wasn't just a comic. Yeah.
And what about David Morse as Dr. Jack Morrison?
Oh yes. Well, David was a very serious person and very good actor, and he had a certain vulnerability that was very attractive in the role, and had it in himself. And I think this was his first big break, St. Elsewhere, and he was with the show all the way, and easy to work with, and sometimes, it's such a big cast that sometimes you didn't see some of them for the longest time because you were on one storyline and they were on another storyline, and that happened sometimes with David, yeah.
How about Christina Pickles?
She was very professional, very prepared, and did it very well, because she had to have that hard edge that she had, and she did that good. And I don't know, she was terrific. I loved them all. I mean, it was really, an ideal show to be in. You didn't have, I don't, I was not aware of any problems of one actor with another, or one actor getting more than the other, or any of that stuff. They all were just happy to be on the show because everybody loved the show. Yeah.
What about working with Denzel Washington at that time?
Who knew what was going to happen with Denzel, you know? He was there with Eric Launaville, and I remember they were standing off stage one time in the back, kind of in the dark, and they were talking, and I walked by, and they said, "Here comes Whitey." They were kidding me. They were just happy to be on the show, and they did their jobs beautifully. And Denzel went on with that Spike Lee, is that his name?
Yeah.
Gave him a big break in features, and he went on to become quite a big star.
Absolutely. One last person in the cast we wanted to ask about is Mark Harmon as Dr. Robert Caldwell.
I don't know what to say. He was great. Yeah, I mean, he was always there, always prepared, and did a lovely job. That was before he went on to do his own show, and I think that part led him into the next show, which is what happens when you're doing something that the show is successful and that you're doing your job well. It could lead to something else, and that's happened with Mark.